Hey guys, so we are finishing up the month of October. This is the last week for Domestic Violence Month. And it's been a very great month with getting people educated and sharing the word. I thank everybody for sharing all of my posts. I know I put a lot of them up, but I think it's just important to educate people on what's going on and what's happening and ways that you can help and what it's like to go through that situation if you've never been through that situation before. So we talked about a lot of things. So today, rounding up the month, I want to talk about freedom, the end of domestic violence, coming out of it, and the freedom that you have to go on and live your life. Um, the first thing I did when I left after I cried, the very thing after that was I went to the library. If you know me, you know I love to read and I'm a nerd. I went to the library and I found a quiet corner and I just sat there. I didn't do anything else. I just sat there and my friend had the kids and I just sat there and I was quiet. And because I had no idea what to do with myself. And so I found a quiet place and I just sat there and be quiet. When you first leave, I think it's important that you find that quiet spot for yourself because you will have people who are helpful and your friends and your family who will want to help you and tell you everything that you need to do. But they may not understand the darkness that you feel or the heaviness that you feel of where you are right then. So somehow, somewhere, you have to find a quiet place. Um, for me, it was the library or my room or after the kids went to bed. That was my quiet time. Some of the things that helped me after I first left was definitely counseling. Yes, people go to counseling, and yes, it does help. I went to counseling, and I read a book by Joyce Meyer called The Battlefield of the Mind, and it talks about all different kinds of depression and feeling overwhelmed and insecure and your self-esteem issues. And it was just a great book that helped carry me over. So I recommend that book to anybody. That's Joyce Meyer's Battlefield of the Mind, and definitely counseling. Just remember to find that quiet space is very important. And if you are quiet long enough, that voice that's in you that lets you know you're going to be okay, it will get louder and louder and louder. And day by day, it will overtake all the negative things. It will overtake everything that you've ever heard about yourself, any insecurities that you may have felt. It will take over, and you will find yourself at peace. And people don't understand when I say peace is priceless. I don't have to argue. I don't need to yell. I don't need to scream. Do I have emotions? Yes, I get mad. Yeah. But at the end of the day, peace of mind is priceless. And when you have peace of mind, that's all that you need. Um, Life after domestic violence can be just as sweet as you want it to be, or it's just as difficult as you want it to be. You have to decide whether you want to continue to be a victim or continue to be a survivor. There's a scripture and it's in Revelations, um, and I'll put it somewhere. I'll put it in the Facebook post, and it says that he touched his lips with the white stone, and once he touched his lips with the white stone, he changed his name. And the only two people who knew that name change was God and the other person who received that name change. And so when you decide that you're no longer become a victim, you're going to become a survivor. You're changing your name. And once you do that, the peace that you experience is amazing. Do you have to tell your story? That's up to you. For me, I chose to tell my story because one day I realized that if I did not, people may die. And it was that serious for me. And it wasn't to get back at anybody, it wasn't to shame anybody, it wasn't to whatever you, it wasn't for pity because sometimes when you tell your story, people be like, oh, I feel so sorry for you. Oh, you know, I don't want your pity. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. um, I thank God that I made it out. I came over. Thank you. And I appreciate all the prayers that I have received and will continue to receive. um, for that. And I'm thankful. But pity is not something that I was looking for in telling my story. I'll tell my story in hopes that it will help somebody realize that I don't care how deep down it goes, how hard it is. There's a way I ate once a day. I was allowed to use the bathroom once a day. And if you can overcome just being in a box of, and if you have ever been in an abuse situation, you know what I'm talking about. Just that box of your life is controlled, every aspect of it. And if you can come out of that and to share your story with somebody else, it makes me feel better. It enlightens me because I'm not in it. I don't have the emotional attachment to it anymore. It happened to me, yes, but I tell my story in hopes that it will help someone else to say, hey, yes, you can overcome, you can get out. And there's some things that you're gonna have to do. It will be hard. It won't be easy. You will have to be strong. And you don't realize how strong you will have to be until strong is the only option that you have. I see it like this. At the end, one or two things. Either you will know God and He will become your everything, or you won't know God and you'll go another way. For me, I didn't have any. I was desperate for something to take over so I wouldn't have to because I didn't know what I was doing. So for me, He was the answer for me to. I needed help. I needed guidance. I didn't know what to do, and so that's why I live by the quote by John Wooden. I'm a basketball fan, college basketball. Go Tar Heels. Um, John Wooden, basketball coach, said, "Don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do." And I live by that all the time because if I concentrate on what I don't know, I won't accomplish what I do know. So by the time I'm focused on what I can do, what I can't do, the answers are already there by that point. So I encourage you just to find something that motivates you. Find a scripture or a motivational topic or a quote or whatever it is, something that gives meaning to you, to your life that you can relate to, that's going to help you take that deep breath and keep going. Thank you guys for letting me share my videos with you this month. I hope they have been helpful. Please share them with other people. If you need me, as always, you can find me on Facebook. You can email me or just contact me if you need anything. I do want to thank everyone that has invited me out to speak. I had a great time this weekend. Thank you, People's Temple, for just allowing me to be me and share my story with no um, restrictions on how it was to go, and I appreciate that. I love you guys for that, so thank you so very, very much. Um, Again, if you would like for me to come out to your organization or to speak to you, please contact me. I'm open. I am not a counselor. Let me say that I'm not a counselor. Um, can I be a listening ear? Absolutely. I can help in any way that I can. Do I have all the answers? Nope. Wish I did, but I don't. But if you need me, you know how to reach me. And thank you guys for listening. Have a great night.